Hi, I'm Kelly Morgan. I first got interested in photography probably about 7 years ago or so through a job doing some marketing for a boutique real estate agency and photographing houses. At that time I bought a Nikon D70, which I still have today. Just before a fairly big overseas trip, I decided to go and do a Bluedog Photography workshop to learn how to use that camera properly. That was when I met Danielle. Last year, when the opportunity to travel with Danielle and some other tutors from Bluedog to Cambodia came up, I jumped at the chance, having always wanted to go there myself actually. One day, wandering the streets around Siem Reap, I met Mr. Douk. I spent the day with him, started the day at his house quite early in the morning, which was quite confronting actually, looking at where he lived and how he lived. Even though I expected it, it was still quite mind-blowing to be invited into his home and to watch his day and his bathing ritual and all of those things that are quite personal and intimate moments. There's some security, I think, hiding behind the camera while you do something like that, but spending the day with him was challenging on a number of levels. Just even physically, I think, walking around the streets in that kind of heat and humidity, carrying what was a reasonably heavy camera, certainly didn't compare to the books and the basket that he was carrying around his neck. The way he was treated by people, and it was a privilege to spend so much time with him and to be introduced to people as his friend at the end of the day was very humbling as well. It was an experience that I won't forget. The photos that I took will be on my wall, which is fairly unusual for those kind of pictures of a man like that. But it was also an incredible learning experience with a camera, going from being an absolute beginner to being able to shoot in full manual mode by the end of that trip. One of the things I found most interesting actually was the responses from some of the tourists to Mr. Douk. He is just a man, despite not having the lower end of his arms. He is just making a living like anyone else, and he's not an aggressive or confronting person. But a lot of tourists actually ignore him or are quite disrespectful and rude to him. I think that's more about our own awkwardness than anything that he does or puts on us as such, and I think that's quite unfortunate and quite telling about Western society and what we put on other people. So I hope you enjoy those images of Mr. Douk from my photo essay, Lessons from an Armless Man, as part of the Queensland Festival of Photography exhibition that Danielle Lancaster is featured in. I was honoured to be invited by Danielle to participate with her, and I hope they give you some insight into the day in the life of a double amputee in Cambodia.